honourable leader of the ND opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This government has presented legislation that will give the Minister of Health the authority to approve Alberta Health Services' $12 billion budget. Some might find this an improvement over the board of AHS doing it, but it overlooks a fundamental democratic principle. Since the Magna Carta, generations have fought and sometimes died to ensure that the people's elected representatives have control over taxation and government budgets. To the Premier, do you believe in the right of the Assembly to approve the government's budget, including the health budget? And if so, why are you giving this power to your health minister?
Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, that must be another one of those humour moments that we're just talking about. Because obviously the Legislative Assembly approves the health budget as it does every budget in government. Obviously the Legislative Assembly has oversight on the spending of the public's money. Within the health budget, which is allocated by this Assembly, the Minister of Health works under the prescribed lines that have been approved. One of those lines is the budget for the Alberta Health Services, and it's the Minister's job to have oversight on that budget after it's been approved by the government.
First supplemental, honourable member.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, it is a joke, and here's the punchline. The budget of AHS is a quarter of this government's entire budget, yet the budget for the AHS that we see in this Assembly is only 6 lines, 6 numbers, Minister, first, for $12 billion. Albertans expect their elected representatives to scrutinize government budgets and expenditures, but this government has done an end run around democracy. To the Premier, will you pull Bill 12 and introduce legislation that will ensure the Assembly's oversight of the $12 billion health services budget? And if not, why not?
Mr. Speaker, Bill 12 does nothing to change the oversight of this legislature on the spending of public money. Nothing whatsoever. What it does do is give the minister more direct oversight on the grants that have been provided to Alberta Health Services with respect to how they allocate those resources within Alberta Health Services. That is not a change from the government or the oversight of this legislature or the Treasury Board, for that matter, with respect to the public funds. And in fact, I'm surprised by the honourable member's questions. I understand 2 members of his caucus voted for this just yesterday.
Final supplemental.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. We'll have more to say about it later. This is to the Health Minister. Home care workers at the Arts Space Co-op are being paid poverty-level wages with no benefits. They're mostly new Canadians, all women, and are going on strike today. Their employer says that they do not receive enough provincial funding to provide a raise or benefits. Will the Minister of Health agree to review the contract with the Arts Space Home Care Board, Supports for Arts Space Independent Living, to ensure that they do have enough funds to provide their workers with a living wage?
Honourable Minister of Health.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I would certainly agree with the honourable member that we need to make sure that home care workers in this province are paid fair wages and do have working conditions that enable them to do what they want to do, which is care for Albertans who require it. I am not going to comment on this specific set of negotiations. I don't want, obviously, to preempt those negotiations, nor will I interfere with them. But I will certainly tell the honourable member that we're monitoring the situation closely. We recognize the very difficult and valuable work that home care workers do, and we trust that this will be resolved very quickly.